You can't do everything yourself. That's a huge thing, you know. That motto of, hey, if you want to do it right, do it yourself. Man, that is a bunch of baloney. It is not what wealthy, successful, and top CEOs subscribe to. This is the Ask Chris Johnson Show. Let's get it. Hey, welcome back. We're at the Ask Chris Johnson Show. This is where I'm able to be a blessing and help people that have questions about business. And so today, got a guy, Peterson. Is that right, Joe? He saw me at a speaking engagement, and he was really impressed, and he's been very persistent. There he is right there. Let's see. This is Chris.
Oh, hey, Chris. How you doing, man? This is Steve Peterson.
Hey, Steve. How you doing, man? Hey man, I'm blessed by the best. Go ahead, man. Tell me, what's your question?
I did have a couple questions, just business operations wise. From an operational standpoint, what are some of the keys of success in terms of scaling up your business? As a small business owner, I've always had this challenge of handling the amount of business that I have.
So one of the things, and I'm still getting better at it. You can't do everything yourself. That's a huge thing, you know. That motto of, hey, if you want to do it right, do it yourself. Man, that is a bunch of baloney. It is not what wealthy, successful, and top CEOs subscribe to. It wasn't until recently, and I was blessed to be able to go to Harvard Business School, OPM. Shout out to my OPMers out there, where I understood that to scale, you have to bring on the right people and you got to make them successful. And so that's one of the biggest keys. And so the first step is you need to identify all the things that you currently do. All the tasks that you currently do, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's operations, whether it's HR, finance. And then the next thing you need to do is you need to gradually put yourself out of a job. Initially, I used to do all the social media marketing. Right now, I got a great person in Joel that does the social media marketing. Come over here, Joel. I gotta give Joel. Look, I might give Joel a shout out every freaking episode, right? But I used to do that, right? I used to wear that hat. I took that hat off. I gave that to Joel. I used to do the logistics and shipping all across the country when I first started. Now I got an amazing person in Samantha. I used to do the finance and looking at finance and putting things in QuickBooks when I first started. Now I got a whole finance team and Linda and Isabel, right? I used to do all the sales by myself. And now I just hired a great national sales guy in Daryl. So the key is, and now imagine all those different hats. And now when you have great people that are running with you and you're having a team, that's when you're able to scale. That's when you're able to take on more, and that frees you up to be creative, to bring more to the table and go after bigger deals, right? Joel doesn't want to fly all the way to Bentonville and negotiate a big Walmart deal and a Sam's Club deal worth multi-millions, right? And his skill set may not be suited to that, but mine is. But for me to be able to do that big deal, I cannot be wearing the hat of social media, marketing, logistics, finance at the same time. So in order for you to scale, you definitely need to identify what you're currently doing and put yourself out of a job.
Having the right people. What are some key characteristics of the right person? Because everybody who's hired the wrong person, that stress and pain. So what are some of the key characteristics you're looking for in the people you add to the team in order to scale up?
Absolutely. Listen, I'm one that's still learning as I go. I don't have this thing perfect. And this is a guy that, has had a staffing company for the last 11 years. My biggest thing, number one, what I hire on is character. I really like being around good people and people that are just great people. And so that's a huge thing for me. Number two is desire. You can't teach someone how to want it. When I hire people, I make sure that in their previous history, they've had some track record of showing that they succeeded. And it wasn't until recent where experience is so important for me. When I first started this company, I had a lot of interns that were just really good, really hungry, but I didn't still have that expertise to be able to scale. And so bringing on expertise to be able to scale would be the third thing. So those are the things that I'm looking for: character, their desire, and expertise.
Got it. Makes sense. And as you're operating with your team, there's a lot of things that you've got to delegate, a lot of things that you have to do and are responsible for. What are some of the activities that make up the best use of your time?
I would say number one is setting a vision for the company. You got to actually know where you're going. I spent over the last 2 months just refining and defining the vision for 2018. And soon I'm going to be revealing that to my team, and they're going to have strategies and goals for all of us as a unit to go achieve that vision. So that's number one. Is vision. Number two is sales, man. It's still my job to make sure that I'm making it rain. Another thing that I do is major creative license partnerships. I got billion-dollar partnerships with Top Ramen, Minute Rise, Betty Crocker, and I just did a major license deal with one of the top fitness influencers, Jen Wiederstrom, of The Biggest Loser. That's a major deal that we're looking at getting in Target. That stuff requires my time, and those are major deals as far as putting all those things together, getting that celebrity, making that partnership deal, talking to Target. So those are the things that I spend most of my time on.
Got it. You still have to sell. You're just selling in different ways.
Absolutely. The thing that a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners need to know is that sales cures all, right? Like, you have to continue to sell. You still need to bring in dollars and bring in revenue. So my job is even to compete as far as to make sure that I'm adding value, making sure that we're selling, and that, yeah, it's at a high level and the biggest impact.
Right, that makes sense. Within your operation now, when you've got excess cash, reserves, or whatever you want to call it, the question is twofold. First of all, what are the things that you invest in inside your business to kind of make it grow? And then outside of your business, what are some things that you are investing in that you see as valuable?
As far as investing inside the business, what I do is a strategy called test and press. I created it. I test and press. Like, for example, on Amazon ads. So we'll test it with $4 a day promoting the Betty Crocker brownie maker. And then after looking at that and analyzing that product for about a week, then what we do is we see what it performed. And so the top performers, let's say we spent $4 a day, and the total amount that we spent was $28, but it made us $398. That's something we're going to press. So that's when I'll give Joel the instruction of like, whoa, this thing is cranking, press it. So I'll go from $4 to $100, spend $100 a day. And so that's the same thing with Facebook ads, Instagram ads. We test, and then when it's working, we press. And so that's been able to reinvest those dollars to grow and sell those products. As it relates to investments outside, right now I'm focused on my number one investment, And that number one investment is investing in myself. I'm just singularly focused on building this company. And so I've reinvested significantly into doing that. So that has been my focus, man. So that's how I invest in my business and what I do as far as investing dollars out.
Makes sense, man. I've heard that actually from a couple different financial planners as a CEO, entrepreneur, business owner. Best investment you can make is in your own operation.
I'm a living example of that. When I first started this company, it was about $1,500. Now it's turned into a multi-million-dollar company, which is a blessing. I'm humbled by that. But we still got so far to go. I've made so many mistakes. Had so many issues along the way, and we're far from our destination. I say that with all humility, with a ton of faith and execution and investing in yourself. Who would have known that $1,500 could turn into multi-millions? So I'm just, right?
That's amazing. That's the power of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely, man.
And thank you. I know you're busy, Chris. I really appreciate your time. I really was inspired by you and your wife and your story, and would love to just stay linked up as best as possible.
Absolutely, man. This is my way of giving back. I'm blessed to be a blessing, man, and I want to help so many people. This is one of the most efficient ways that I've been able to do that is doing it on YouTube, doing it on Facebook, and my only purpose is to make sure that I'm giving back to people, man.
Well, man, Chris, I really appreciate it. Really thank you for coming out and talking to our folks at our conference. Wherever we can be blessed or of assistance to you in your operation, if there ever need be, we'll be right there, Johnny, on the spot.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Have a great rest of the day, and thanks for calling in, man.
All right, thank you too, bro.
Okay. All right. That was cool, man. This is the goal of the Ask Chris Johnson show. I never know what I'm going to get. It's really cool that, I was able to help him and provide some insight. I hope you got something out of that. Invest in yourself, man, and you have a ton of faith, and you never know what can happen. Thanks for watching the Ask Chris Johnson show. If you want to be on the Ask Chris Johnson show, go ahead and direct message me. Joel or I will get back to you as far as scheduling times. We'll see you on the next episode of the Ask Chris Johnson show. Let's go!